right, happy May Day. Welcome on board, trendy people. It's the special edition of Spring Trends, and it is the International Labour Day, where we commemorate and also celebrate labor and workers all around the globe. But it's Nigeria, so we celebrate you. If you're a worker, congratulations. It's another May Day. Welcome on board right here on Spring Trends, where we actually look at issues trending on social media. What's trending, who's trending, why they're trending, and reactions. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei. And of course, you know I do not get to do this alone. Femi is here. Welcome on board, Femi.
Thank you very much. Happy May Day to you and everyone watching us right now. And
of course, happy holiday. But we are here to ensure that you get updated on issues affecting us as a country. But let's get to what's trending right now. This very humorous one. Now, we learned that power went off at the National Assembly while the Minister of Power was in the building. And of course, you can see that picture with the minister kind of taking a pose in darkness, but thanks to the flashlights, we can see his face. Reactions, David says, thanks to the cameraman flash, we can see their faces. That's exactly what I said, just now. And Daniel Rega says, the Minister of Power have been trying so hard to convince the public on why electricity tariff needs to be hiked. This alone gives reason to believe that the power reportedly going off at the National Assembly while it was present is a deliberate act. The story is laughable, but only screams gross incompetence. And we move over to Joseph. Joseph says, so there may no solar in the Senate building, no standby external light source in case of power failure. How much did they even approve for renovation of Senate building, Seth? I mean, this is Joseph's take here. But let me move over to Femi right here in the studio. I mean, when you actually heard this news, a lot of people actually were trying to confirm if it happened. Yeah. But we learned it happened. And of course, you can see the Minister of Power there with a very good post saying, let them know that we have to declare state of emergency in the power sector. What's your take?
You are very right, because when I saw it yesterday, I had to say, we should verify, because I first saw it on a blog, and because it will be it would have been very embarrassing, for the man in charge to be attending to his duties, by the way, when it was called over by the parliamentarians, and all of a sudden, the light went off, and you could see that picture. I'm sure this is a face of these people. This is not posing the way you are saying it. Doesn't. If anything is going through his mind,
that was a good post.
It's secular, and inquiries will have been made yesterday to know who was in charge at that time. Many persons will say maybe that was deliberate. To put him, to shame him, to say you are not doing well. But then, if actually it was deliberate, many Nigerians won't mind, because they will let him know this is what many persons so far. We had a guest yesterday who had interruptions while he was speaking with us on a particular program many times, and you could see the frustration.
And that's even at the Federal Capital Territory.
At the FCT. And these are the things that happens when people are put up. So possibly they are making a presentation and the light goes off, and then the thing is disrupted. People are manufacturing, they are producing, even in a very small scale, and many persons. And it speaks to what power is really, for him, it's just about embarrassment, maybe quite embarrassing, national one, by the way. But when it goes back to his car, when it goes back to his house, I'm not sure he will be lacking power supply. But many Nigerians doesn't have that particular, luxury of having power to power their lives.
But do you think this situation is against him? Because some Nigerians believe that the situation that happened at the National Assembly was actually in his favor, because he was there to actually come to argue out what is happening in the power sector, and how they need more money to fund, his justification of the tariff hike. So, when there was power outage, in Mel, you see, this is what I'm talking about. We need more funds to keep this thing rolling.
And for many persons who called him, I think there was a motion by the House of Reps to say you should stop it. You are not increasing the quality of light. You are telling the people to pay more. And so, as that power ceased there yesterday, many persons could as well say, you see yourself. What you say, me Nigeria, they pay for.
Yeah.
Now be this.
Yeah.
Even you yourself, you day here, life still go. So waiting make Nigeria come pay for. Many Nigerians are even saying that band-aid, we will not say with a band-aid, I bet put us on Patsy. More kuku no. Because you increase the tariff.
We're paying more, but we're not enjoying.
They are paying more, and they are not having that quality, not even the time, the quality of light, and then of course the time. It's a bad situation, and I don't envy him at this time. He has gotten a very terrible job, and I think it's not even impressing. Maybe the challenges are overwhelming.
Neither do I actually envy Minister Adebayo Adelabu at this time. You know, over time
he even seems like an outcast among his peers right now. People
have always, you know, been. I don't want to use the word. Kind of assault, not assault or bully.
Yeah.
You know, the other day was with his power bank. People took a picture of that. He said, see your minister of power with power bank. How do you expect to have power? Then the other day he made a statement of Nigerians should put off their refrigerator.
They are going out and then they don't put it off.
A lot of people are picking on him, and you wouldn't blame Nigerians at this time because we've never had it this worse, you know, in the country.
If I may quickly chip in this is my personal opinion. I think Adelabu is trying. Only a radical can survive, let's just say that, in that particular ministry. But if you ask me, I would say he's been elitist in his approach. And that won't work at all.
Let's just go very quickly to the next story this morning, as we actually learned that the federal government has approved a salary increase for civil servants, 25% and between 25% and 35% in salary increase for civil servants on the remaining 6 consolidated salary structure. And the salary structure is the consolidated public service salary structure, consolidated research and allied institution salary structure, consolidated police salary structure, consolidated paramilitary salary structure, consolidated intelligence community salary structure, and consolidated armed forces salary structure. It will be recalled that those in the tertiary education and health sectors had already received their increases, which involved consolidated university academic salary structure and consolidated tertiary institution salary structure for universities. So this is majorly for the military, the police, and, you know, some research institutions. Let's see what Nigerians are saying. Kevin's Odia says, you increase fuel and electricity by over 400%, but you are increasing worker salary by just 25%. What a shame. And Nafiu Mohammed says, this is not for every civil servant. Not all civil servants are on these salary structures mentioned. The government should come out and clarify before they deceive people. I am a civil servant and my salary structure is not included, so we need answers. Olushola of Bauchi says, if you were earning 33,000 naira before, this increment by 25% is 8,250 naira. That means your new salary is 41,250 naira. By 35%, it means that your new salary is 44,650 naira. Good, quick mathematics there by Olushola of Bauchi.
Right.
But your own math, what do you say, Femi?
My math is always rusty, except it has figures. By the way, I mean, currency notations there, but then it is, this one is not even the total. I'm not sure this is for workers, really, like the generality of the workers. It's just for some cadre and for some workers. It's not a general thing, you know, okay, 25% for these people, 35% for these people. Every increase is an addition, by the way. Yeah. But I'm not sure this is what the people deserve. We deserve more than that. Somebody has just done the math. Kudos to him. But the thing is, the reality on ground right now, I'm not even talking about scarcity, not the last 2-3 days. I'm talking about what has happened in the last 6-7 months. This is nothing. Let's just say it as it is. It is entirely nothing. Yes, we know not many persons will be on 33,000 naira salary. That's for the lowest, by the way, the minimum. But then it is nothing compared to the challenges people are facing right now, including the workers are Nigerians as well. Yeah. So they are not special breed of people that have a different market where they go to, and the rest of us have a different market where we go to. So consolidated this, consolidated that, big grammar is okay for the grammar, you know, for official statements. But is it enough? It is not enough. It can never be enough.
And also I'm concerned about the timing of when it was actually announced, the eve of May Day. So
to give you something to chair.
Exactly.
No.
But then, fingers crossed, let's see what will happen before, because we are hearing from different sources that there might be a pronouncement before the first anniversary of President Bola Tinubu in office. Talk about the new minimum wage. So Nigerians are actually waiting
just in 28 days
to see what happens with that. All right, moving on. Nuhu Ribadu, that's the National Security Advisor, says social media is now a priority for national security. Reactions on social media and things. Obiora Otu says this is as good as forcing Nigerians not to speak, not to air their grievances and feelings, whilst the government use it as a source of spreading their endless lies and unfounded propaganda. Social media is the people's voice and cannot be suppressed. There are pressing issues that need to be government's priorities and not social media. Oladele says social media needs to be regulated, with that exclamation mark there. Ayodeji Kayode says, what of lack of PMS? What of lack of security across the nation? What of lack of potable water? What of lack? And the list goes endless. In the middle of all of these, social media is a problem, right? Well done, sir. And Jackie says on this day, okay, I still will take this. All right, that's the last comment for that particular story.
Right.
Femi, what do you think? Do you think social media is really a menace in this society? A lot of people have called for the regulation of social media. And, you know, there are arguments for and against. What will it be with you?
For me, I think, Evelyn, this is two truths or multiple truths can coexist. We don't have to say this is only the reason why that the national security have been, compromised a couple of times. You won't tell me the social media is the reason why some herders, some death, mongers, some unknown gunmen, the way they use them, the way they say it, or some killers have constantly been invading Benue, Nasarawa, Kaduna, Sabombrini, that particular area, and Sokoto, some part of
even Plateau.
Plateau. Thank you. Is social media the reason for that? Excuse me. He has a job to do, and his table is the one coordinating security, advising the president. I understand it's a very critical one, and he has information that possibly I don't have, we don't have, but you don't tell us. It's just social media.
What if it's one of the major factors?
That's why I say maybe one of. But we wouldn't say that is where we should focus our energy right now. Am I saying people should not be held accountable for their actions? No, they should be. Let's say it, Evelyn. There are many persons who are reckless. They say things just because they think they can say it, and they don't care the implications. If you have made very terrible statements, if you have dispensed lies, you should be held accountable. I'm for that. But when government come out with regulation, the last time they regulated, it was ban, outright ban on X. And they gave promises why they are doing this. Till now, where is Twitter headquarters in Nigeria? We wait to see. That's what Minister Lai Mohammed said at the time. Don't let us major on minor and then be minoring on major. If you understand what I'm saying, it might be one of the reasons, spreading fake news, cyberbullying. Anybody who does that, there are laws. Hold them accountable. After all, the PRO for the Nigeria police said, you can pick anybody up. Just give us 2 weeks maximum. We'll fish you out. But how about people that have been overrunning villages? In the northeast, in the north central? They should do more. All
right. You asked the question the other time, where is the Twitter headquarters in Nigeria? One might also want to ask, where is the person that actually said that at the time? Mr. Lai Mohammed has been conspicuously, silent, is no longer in the scene, and people are like, we miss you, Daddy. Where have you been? That's just...
If actually I was to be Lai Mohammed as well, he's an old man. He should be enjoying the rest of his life, traveling the world, catching up with his grandchildren.
He should come to answer to some of the things he said in the
If there are reasons why he should be called, he will, he should.
Exactly. All right, moving on to the next story this morning. Now, this particular Twitter X user made this person, I thought we should bring it to the fore.
Right.
She said on this day, April 30th, 1994, same day, same time, only difference, 30 years ago, Nigerians in long fuel queues lamenting. 30 years later, they are still lamenting. And in another 30 years, we will still lament. Why? Because patterns don't lie. Let's watch this video. We'll come back to take reactions.
And they can't get fuel. You have the soldiers that come, they buy petrol, they put it in jerry cans, they sell it right in front of these people. It's ridiculous. They get fuel themselves. Why do they have to come here? They don't join the queue, they just buy and they sell right in front of people. It's ridiculous. Something has to happen.
All right, that is actually very disturbing to watch, because if you, that lady that spoke, and I must say she's a very beautiful, she was a very beautiful woman, because I don't know right now if she is still alive or dead. But then, you know, if she was 30 years old at the time and she's still alive till now, that means she'll be 60. Exactly. And to think that she experienced this 30 years ago and
spoke on it.
And spoke on it. And the same time we are having exact same situation in our country today. Are we really making progress as a country? Are we? Look at the queues. Look at people fighting for fuel with their jerry cans. In fact, she also said that, you know, the military guys will come, they that have been on the queue, they just sell for them and they move. That it's not fair, it's ridiculous. That was what she was saying.
Military era,
you know, so, you know, your thought, and we can just substitute it for, you know, the politicians will come to the fuel. In fact, they don't come. They take their fuel to meet them. The reactions. Goddess says we are not victims of bad leadership. We are enablers. A voice of reason says, and that's because we are recycling our leaders instead of changing the structure. We keep looking on to the next election after being robbed of our votes in the previous one. We live in the hope of changing our leaders to no avail, not knowing that leadership is not the problem, but the political structure is, which the foundation of all things, including leadership. Leaders are a product of the structure. They are the product of the system. Change the system and your leaders will change. If regions begin to govern themselves, Nigeria will be better. Another lengthy one from Nimble says, decade after decade, these fuel queues always appear in the country, and one would think the people would revolt and get their country back from these lazy, wicked and inefficient politicians. But no, they are subdued in their suffering, where a new generation come to witness the cycle of endless suffering all over again. Joshua Isaigbe says at least the reason for the scarcity was clear and somewhat reasonable. What is the cause of the recurring scarcity we have been facing? Femi, what do you think of the situation?
The explanations are there, but if the explanation is explaining, it's not given, right? Because it's not connecting. And, you know, the NNPC have stood their ground to say we have enough. And in the papers today, we learned 300 million liters that have been offloaded yesterday to do what? If you have enough, then supply is not the issue. They have blamed logistics. But then your guess is as good as mine. We know the reality on ground. But 30 years, that's national oil. You know, and some of these, this is bringing some memory. That I could see some old 504 and 505 Evolution Pojo.
The big
the big tool. Imagine if my father or my uncle were to be here and 30 years down the line, they still have to do this thing today. Evelyn, you want my sincere opinion? This is a shame. It's a shame that this is, you know, Nigerians sometimes, or our leaders, we say maybe a couple of times when these things happen in UK, US, you will see them say, oh, these things happen as well. But you could see Mercedes-Benz, Pojo still lining up, and the Beetle and the rest of it, and we are still experiencing that. People are still sleeping in filling stations. It shows that our problem, challenge in this country, is endemic. And we're always glossing over. We have not really been tackling. It's as simple. And these problems won't go away.
It's a shame. It's a shame, really, Femi. 30 years ago, and we are still where we used to be.
Yeah.
No progress made. The same situation reoccurring at this time. Yesterday, we were talking about, during our time we shouted up NEPA. No, during our parents' time they shouted up NEPA. During our time we're shouting up NEPA. Our kids now, also shouting up NEPA. But then we hope that's all we can do to actually, ensure that we nip these issues in the bud and move forward as a country. Thank you so much, Femi, for your time.
My pleasure.
And to you, our dear viewers, for your time this morning. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Have for yourself a good day. Bye-bye.